Ginsburg fought many battles with cancer over the years. Well, she died tonight at her home, surrounded by family.
The 87-year-old's death has already kicked off a political battle for her replacement. KCAL 9 political reporter Tom Waite live tonight in our newsroom with a look back at the legal legend and a look ahead to what may come next. Tom?
Hi there, Susie and Juan. Well, to millions, she was known as the liberal lion of the court, the notorious RBG. She was a hero to progressives, and tonight after her passing, the Republican Senate Majority Leader has already released a statement saying he intends to allow President Trump to replace her. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a star in the legal world, but most Americans learned her name in 1993 when President Bill Clinton tapped her for the Supreme Court.
I, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, do solemnly swear.
Poised and soft-spoken, she was a native New Yorker with a stellar resume and only the second woman ever picked for the nation's highest court. But decades earlier, after graduating from Columbia Law School, Ginsburg had to fight her way along her career path. She had the full support of her husband, Martin, but being Jewish, a woman, and a mother, she said, were three strikes that put her out of the game. Rejected by law firms, she took a job as a law clerk, then a professor. In the 1970s, she started the Women's Rights Project at the ACLU.
Having experienced discrimination, she devoted the next 20 years of her career to fighting it.
Ginsburg took on a series of landmark cases dealing with gender equality. She argued 6 cases before the Supreme Court and won 5. And she welcomed President Clinton's nomination not just as a personal achievement, but as a step forward for women.
It contributes to the end of the days when women, at least half the talent pool in our society, appear in high places only as one at a time.
One of the High Court's more liberal voices, Ginsburg consistently supported civil rights, and she issued a strong dissent in the Bush versus Gore case, which decided the 2000 election. But she also voted with her conservative colleagues. She called the late Antonin Scalia her best buddy, and the two put ideology aside to share their love of opera and adventure. But she raised a political flap during the 2016 presidential race when she called Republican Donald Trump a faker. She later said she regretted her remarks, but stopped short of an apology. Ginsburg has had several health scares. In 2018, doctors removed 2 growths from her lungs, causing her to miss 6 days in court. She survived colon cancer and 2 incidents involving pancreatic cancer. Her refusal to step down and her unparalleled work ethic earned her pop culture icon status.
It was beyond my wildest imagination that I would one day become the notorious RBG.
Ginsburg lost her husband in 2010 after 56 years of marriage, but she was back in court a few months later for what she called an exhilarating development when Elena Kagan joined her and Sonia Sotomayor on the High Court, another milestone for the women's movement which Ginsburg helped pioneer. And these are live pictures tonight from the nation's capital, where crowds of people have gathered outside of the Supreme Court mourning this loss. A very somber scene there after learning, of course, of Justice Ginsburg's death. Pretty impressive and an incredible scene out there. Tonight, President Trump spoke briefly about Justice Ginsburg's passing, saying he was saddened to hear about her death. He did not say whether he intended to nominate someone to replace her before the election. Democratic nominee Joe Biden also spoke out. He said the winner of the election should pick the replacement. You'll remember Republicans would not allow a vote on a replacement for Antonin Scalia's seat. Justice Scalia died 10 months before the 2016 election. Live in the newsroom, I'm Tom Waite. Susie, back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you very much.